All right, let's go ahead and get started. Sharing my screen here. Hopefully we see it here in a second. All right, great. So we want to spend a little time here today to give you an update on the CLE rule changes that are going to become effective March 1st, 2024. I want to go over kind of a good overview of the rule changes, make sure that you are all aware of your 2023 requirements that really haven't changed, and talk about how 2024 is going to work. There's some special one-time requirements that we'll have to do in 2024, so I want to make sure that everyone is aware of that. And then, answer any questions that you guys have. So if you have questions, we can put you can put your questions in the chat. If you don't have an account to be able to use the chat feature, you can send an email to Deborah Holland, the managing director of CLE board of the CLE program. Her email is in the chat it's dholland@ncbar.gov. And we will be monitoring the chat. Our CLE staff is monitoring the chat to try to answer anything in real time in the chat. If there's anything specific that needs to be addressed by me, they'll make sure that I know that, and we'll address it here on the video as well. All right, so here's a breakdown of the biggest changes. The first one is the elimination of that $3.50 per credit hour fee that your lawyers are responsible for. Although some of that is typically paid by sponsors, so you might not notice it. But I'm sure many of us have received an invoice from the state bar at some point that for $18 or $24 for the various courses that you took from a year. So that's going away. In lieu of that, we are going to have a annual attendance fee of $25 that will be assessed during the membership dues process, except for 2024, and I'll talk about that here in a little bit. And then we're going to have a course application fee for sponsors. So sponsors will pay $50 for a course application in most cases, and will not be responsible for paying that $3.50 per hour attendance fee. So we don't have that. The other really big shift for lawyers, and this was an attempt to increase flexibility for lawyers and efficiency for the CLE program itself, is the move to a 2-year reporting cycle. So other than 2024, where we have some special requirements for half the bar, we'll have to do 1 year. We are going to be in a 2-year cycle. So lawyers will have 2 years to complete 24 hours instead of 1 year to complete 12. In that 2-year period, you'll have to do 4 hours of ethics, 1 professional well-being hour, which is formerly called mental health and substance abuse hour, and 1 technology training hour. Carryover credit is still permitted. You can carry over up to 12 hours from 1 reporting period to the other, but they will just be carried over as total hours. So lawyers, you must complete those specialty credits, the ethics, the professional well-being, and the technology training. You'll have to complete those each reporting period, no matter how many extra hours you rack up in the prior one. This gives lawyers some flexibility. If you have a really busy year, a lot of trials, hearings, casework that's keeping you from having time to do CLE, push it to the next year. If you have some downtime, you can knock out 15, 20 hours. There's no minimum amount that you must complete each year. It's just going to be that total of 24 hours for that 2-year reporting period. And I think perhaps the biggest another great change that's really good for lawyers is the elimination of the annual report requirement. So you'll have 1 more annual report requirement for 2023, but after that, you won't have to log in to click a button that says, I've completed my hours. We thought, well, if our system can show that you've completed the hours, what's the need for you to come in to confirm it and risk forgetting and getting that late fee? So that annual report requirement is going to be eliminated. You'll be able to still track your progress on your account. We'll be able to send out alerts for lawyers who are still short. of hours before the deadline, but you won't have to go in and click that button to submit the report. That's a relic of a time before we had all of this stuff tracked very well in our system, when it was a lot of paper and lawyers had to submit that every year. The other big change is that elimination of the grace period. I don't know how many of you guys even knew that there was a grace period, but the CLE year right now is January to December, but we create this 2-month grace period of January and February. Instead of that, which created a lot of issues internally in terms of accounting and record keeping and confusion for lawyers, we are moving to a 12-month period beginning March 1 and ending at the end of February. You'll have that, that is the CLE year. So you won't have courses that apply to 2 different years, during the CLE year. It'll just be a 12-month period, March 1, end of February. We talked about moving to just an annual, calendar, January to December, but didn't want to have lawyers trying to scramble to complete hours during the holidays in December, especially also, CLE staff still needs to take their holiday time off and those types of things. And everyone is comfortable with February being that CLE month. So that's going to be the month in which the CLE year ends. A trade-off for some of this flexibility is we're streamlining the enforcement process. Right now, a lawyer who doesn't complete CLE, ends up getting a warning letter and then a notice to show cause, and then months later gets a suspension order and still has time to fix all of their issues, and it can end up leading even into the following year in which a lawyer gets suspended for failing to take CLE. And so the streamlined enforcement is going to combine that show cause process with the potential suspension order. So it will be a much more streamlined process, and lawyers will be, you can have a non-compliance fee for failing to complete your hours on time, and then a potential suspension order and non-compliance fee there. So that's the trade-off, just to streamline that and make that more efficient for everyone. Anyone who claims an exemption or is eligible for an exemption, those exemptions, we didn't remove any exemptions. There are a few exemptions added. Clerks, law clerks are now exempt. Full-time law clerks, there's no 2-year. There's not going to be that 2-year limit on law clerk exemptions. Members of the lawyers at the General Assembly staff, they're going to be exempt as well. But that will be claimed during that annual renewal process, and the exemptions are good for the next year. So they're good. They're proactive instead of retroactive like we do now. So you'll claim your exemption. That's good for a year. Each year you claim that exemption. The year that you don't claim it, that's when your 2-year reporting period begins again. We talked about that online course application fee. Sponsors will be able to come in and have a portal. So if you create CLE programs and you are a sponsor, sometimes you'll be able to have a portal where you can go in and apply for courses, submit materials, submit attendance reports, all of that online, and pay those application fees online as well. Yeah, someone asked if we can get these slides, and I'll post these slides. We'll post these slides on our website and social media. And I'll see if I can find a link, be able to post a link into the YouTube comments of this video as well, so you can get these slides. Someone asked a question about how the 12-month report, the 12-month year fits. You should have your regular 2 years, but in terms of tracking the courses that you take each year, we're using an annual, like a 12-month period. So that's not something that you have to worry about as much as sponsors. We'll need to know, what time frame their courses are approved for, and those types of things. You'll need to worry more about the end of when your reporting period ends. You won't need to worry so much about the annual 12-month CLE year definition. Sponsors who submit on-demand courses can get those approved for 3 years. There's some changes to the mental health, substance abuse hour definition. It's now called professional well-being, and the language was updated to be more modern with that area of practice and that area of law, kind of more modern language in terms of well-being. But otherwise, the types of courses that are eligible really haven't changed, and that will be a requirement that you have to take every reporting period. So that's a change. So right now you had to take it once every 3 years, and now you'll have to take it within every reporting period. So once every 2 years. Our online search for courses is going to be updated to allow you to filter and search by the cost that's reported by the CLE sponsors. So you can search for and find free courses available for those of you who are looking for low-cost options. If you're a board certified specialist, this doesn't change any of your requirements. So you still need to follow the rules and requirements for your board certified specialty. Certain number of hours over a certain number of years. This does not change any of that. And so for questions about your specialization requirements, you contact the Board of Specialization. They'll be able to help you out. On-demand programs need to be submitted by sponsors. This way, out-of-state sponsors have to get their programs approved and submitted just like in-state sponsors. You won't be able to take an out-of-state course and then an out-of-state on-demand course and have a lawyer submit that on their own for credit. That needs to be submitted by a sponsor for approval. If you're a new admittee, I'm guessing you're not a 2024 new admittee yet if you're watching this, but new admittees will come right in and for next year and go right into a 2-year period, and they'll have 2 years to complete that new admittee professionalism program. Admittees from 2023, you'll still need to complete that program within the time frame that was required before these rules were changed. So here's a fee schedule for lawyers as it relates to CLE that was approved in October. You'll have that $25 annual attendance fee. And if you think about what the cost of the full cost of practice considered by the ABA included that CLE $3.50 per hour CLE fee, so that added up to $42 a year that was accounted for each lawyer, whether the lawyer paid it or the sponsor paid it. So we're reducing that by just doing $25. Exempt lawyers who are exempt from CLE are not required to pay that annual CLE fee. I can tell you some breaking news that the dues are not going to increase for 2024, so they will still be at $300. And again, in 2024, we're not going to have the client security fund assessment. So the total that lawyers will have to pay that if they're not exempt will be $325, which is an amount that we've been comfortable and been paying for quite a long time now. So no dues increase there. You can still take all of your credits on demand. There's no cap on that. We made that change before COVID, and it ended up working out really well. But there's no cap on the number of courses you can take online. You don't have to take a certain amount live or anything like that. If you do not complete your, if you don't pay that annual attendance fee by the end of the dues process, there's a late fee. If you don't complete your hours by the end of February, there's a late compliance fee, and that will be assessed even if you complete your hours March 2nd, you're going to get assessed that. So we'll be tracking the date that you completed their hours. Once the sponsors finish reporting all of their February hours, we'll assess that late compliance fee for people who did not complete their hours in time. If you then do not complete your hours and pay that late compliance fee by end of May, you get a suspension notice. And if you don't complete within the 45 days or show good cause, you'll be suspended and have to get reinstated to come back. So it's definitely more streamlined. Probably it speeds up the administrative process by 3 or 4 or 5 months, something like that. If you go to a out-of-state conference that is eligible for CLE, but they didn't submit a course application here, you can still submit those courses. It'll be a $25 application fee to get those things reviewed, but you can still submit those if you were taking something out of state and it wasn't approved by or submitted by the sponsor. just note that you can't do those on-demand courses cannot be submitted by lawyers. That has to be submitted by the sponsor. I'm just glancing over to the chat here. Will you still receive an email notice? Yeah, we'll be sending the invoice emails end of this month for dues. Another thing to know is that I believe we will have the law firm administrator portal available for this dues period. So if you are at a law firm with multiple lawyers, you'll finally be able to have an administrator go in and add the lawyers, get one invoice, and pay one payment for all the lawyers in your firm, instead of having to print out individual invoices or mail a check in. Let me see if there's anything that hasn't been answered. Joe is just rocking it right now. Okay. So this is good. If you're a sponsor, if you're just interested in knowing, here's the fee schedule that was approved for sponsors for 2024. It's going to be a $50 program application fee. And then for on-demand courses, you'll have to pay a $20 annual renewal, but it doesn't need to be recertified or you don't have to reapply. All courses that sponsors offer for free for anyone to take are going to be free. So you don't, any sponsors out there who puts on free programs, you're not going to be required to pay that program application fee. We want to encourage good quality free CLE. All right, 2023. Please know nothing's changed for 2023. These rules are becoming effective March 1, 2024. So your requirements for 2023 have not changed. Still 12 hours total, 2 ethics hours, 1 technology. And whether or not you were required to do your mental health substance abuse hour this year, will determine whether you have to take that. So that is unchanged. And you're still going to have an annual report requirement for the 2023 year that will be due at the end of February. This will be the last annual report, but it'll still be required one more time. And during that annual report process is when we'll collect the $25 annual CLE fee for 2024. Going forward, that will be within your dues payment. So you'll only have to log into the bar portal one time a year to do your pay your dues and do your CLE fee. You won't have multiple different times that you have deadlines with the state bar. So this will be the last one that has that you have to do an annual report, and you'll have to do your annual CLE fee for 2024. Also claim your exemption for 2024 if necessary. You can do that. You'll be able to do that in that process. You can still earn carryover hours now in 2023 that will move into your first reporting period, but just know that those only transfer over as total hours. They're going to transfer over as total hours. So you have to do those specialty credits every reporting period going forward after 2023. All right, so in order to create a stagger in which we have half of the bar coming due every year, we have to do a 1-year temporary adjustment to the requirements. And what this is going to be is next year, lawyers with an odd year of licensure, 2015, 2017, 2023, will have a one-time, 1-year, 12-hour requirement. So next year, lawyers with the odd year of licensure will still have to do 12 hours in 2024. They'll have to do 12 hours total, 2 ethics hours, 1 professional well-being, 1 technology training in 2024 alone. Then going forward after that, everyone will be on a 2-year reporting cycle. So this is the temporary rule adjustment for 2024 to be able to create the stagger. And the lawyers with the odd year got won the short straw, because they that way when we have the 2024 new admittees, they can come right into a 2-year cycle. So the lawyers with the odd year have this 1-year 12-hour requirement, and then lawyers with the even year will go right into this 2-year 24-hour requirement. That will be 24 hours over the next 2 years. So you'll have your first reporting period will end in the end of February of 2026. and 24 hours within that time frame, 4 ethics, 1 professional well-being, 1 technology training. So I'm sorry that this has to happen for the odd number of lawyers, and we'll have this information will be available in your portal. You'll know what your reporting period is, but it's based off of your year of licensure, and odd numbers are one year, 12 hours. Even numbers go right into the 2-year reporting period, and from that point on, everything is 2-year reporting period. Anything that changes or any new information, we're going to share over email. We're going to post it on the website, the State Bar website, the CLE website, post it on our social media. I am going around the state to various district bars and bar organizations to present on these rules. So if you want to reach out, schedule a time over the next few months to have a district bar meeting about these rules, I'm happy to come and present them. Answer any questions that you guys have in person. We're also, happy to answer any questions individually for any individual circumstances you might have over email that we'll share on the next slide, or phone call to the bar, obviously. And this video is going to stay on the State Bar's YouTube channel. So if you have colleagues who missed it, or you want to refer them to it, or come back and look at something, you'll be able to see it on our State Bar channel in perpetuity. I will, in terms of looking for the slides, I will try to post a link to the slides in the comments of this video, and we'll also post it on the front page of our State Bar website here this afternoon. As soon as this is over, I'll send that over to our webmaster, and we'll get a PDF of the slides posted. Here's our the emails for questions. The email Deborah Holland, our awesome managing director, or me directly. I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have. And I am going to start scrolling through, and Joe, if you want to put in any copy and paste any questions that need to be addressed, I'm happy to cover those. I know there were a few questions that were sent to me yesterday. That 2-year exemption. So if you have an exemption, it's only good for 1 year. You can take that exemption, and then it resets your reporting period to 2 years again, just keeps moving it out. Every time you take an exemption, it resets your reporting period. So if you take an exemption every year, you'll be totally fine. But 1 year, if you're no longer eligible for an exemption, that will be the year that your 2-year reporting period starts again. Joe was rocking it there. Does anybody have any? If you have a question that Joe hasn't answered yet, repaste it here in the chat, and I'll take a look at it. See if there's anything I can help with. Someone asked if this gets you CLE. The irony here is that it doesn't, and I wish there was a way to do that. I'm sorry. It's pretty great. Does anybody have also? I mean, I'm happy to answer any questions about the State Bar too. So you can certainly jump off if there's nothing else that relates to the CLE. But if you guys have any questions about what's going on, I'll do my best to answer them. Anything that you want to hear. So, the law firm account. Yeah, we'll have information going out about the law firm administrator account soon. We're in beta testing with a few firms just to make sure that it's working. You'll have to have someone go in and create an administrator account and have the one-time task of adding the lawyers to the account. They'll have to get an email to confirm that they are associated with the firm, and then you'll be able to pay the dues. So we'll be sending out, as soon as that's ready, we'll be sending out a notice to everyone that you can go ahead and create that law firm account. So there's professional well-being is going to be every 2 years now. It's in each reporting period. You'll have to do 1 hour of that. So that is a shift from 3 to 2. But the other, the trade-off is that you don't have to do technology training every year. Right now it's annually, and now that will only be every 2 years. So you won't lose any access to your general credits or your total hours of being able to take courses in your practice area. And none of that, we're not taking any of that away. We're just making it easier and more efficient, easier to remember that you just have to do all those specialty hours every reporting period. You don't have to worry about, when was the last time you took mental health? Was it 2 or 3 years ago? In terms of accessing the portal, I guess if this is for the law firm administrator portal, next few weeks, hopefully. If it's for CLE sponsor portal, that should be by the end of the year. They'll have the CLE sponsor portal available, but you can access your CLE personal accounts now through the State Bar's portal to track all of your 2023 stuff as normal. Dumb question. Not so dumb. How do you sign up to get the journal electronically? Well, you should. There is a way in your portal to just check a box to say, I only want the electronic version, so you can stop getting the paper copy if you want. It doesn't save you any money, but it'll, if you don't want to receive it. And otherwise, we should send a link to the online copy every quarter to all the lawyers unless they've already unsubscribed. If you feel like you're not getting that link to the online copy, shoot me an email. We'll make sure you're on the list. Yeah, your online account should note your even or odd licensure number, and it will show and begin. Once it's all ready, we're doing all the development for 2024 now. But once it's all ready for 2024, it'll show your first reporting period, so you know whether or not you are a 1 year, 12-hour, or go right to the 2 year, 24. All right. Anything else that you guys, have questions about? You can either, I don't know if this chat will stay live once we end this, so you just might want to email me or email Deborah. If it's anything about the State Bar, we'll be able to either get it and answer it, or get it to the right person here who will be able to answer it for you. Just know that in your online portal, you can ask for ethics questions through the portal. You can pay your dues. You can track your CLE. It's really we're really adding a lot of features to it, trying to make it more user friendly. And these new rules will all be there as soon as they're developed and programmed into our system. You can see the new rules on our website now under the administrative rules. They're showing the new rules, and then there's also a link to look at the current rules for 2023. But those new rules are already available on our website. There is one CLE amendment that is still subject to the Supreme Court signing it, but it's minor. It's just it's about registered sponsors. There was a proposed change in additional ethics definition of a type of ethics course you could take that was called social responsibility, but that is not part of this final set of rules. So that's not going to be something that's required or optional, a type of course for lawyers to take. All right, guys. Well, I am not seeing a lot more questions rolling in, so please feel free to email them. I appreciate you guys coming in to watch. We had hundreds of lawyers here, and we didn't. Nothing fell apart, so that's good. Back to work, I guess. And if you have questions, please reach out to us. Thank you for coming, and please share this information with everyone. So no one's blindsided when March comes and we have all these new rules. And I'll post the link as soon as I get off, close this share. I've got to finalize it, and we'll post it in the comments and post it on our website for anyone to download. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.